Gym Makers presents the Beyond Brilliant broadcast, where we empower ladies and leaders to shine in their brilliant zone. Join your hosts, Dr. Nicole Steele and Dr. Dee Parker, as they share their secrets to help you gain clarity, build confidence, and unleash your courage. If you're ready to get connected, gain insight, spark your creativity, be inspired, and embrace your brilliance, grab a pen and a friend, and let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Beyond Brilliant, where we empower ladies and leaders to find the clarity, confidence, and courage they need to shine in their brilliant zone. I'm Dr. Dee Parker, the Courage Catalyst, and I'm that hand on your back that pushes you out of your comfort zone all the way into your courage zone. And I am joined by the ever fabulous Dr. Nicole Steele.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Nicole Steele, the confidence coach, and I am that voice in your ear reminding you of who and whose you are. So, Dr. D, we are on part 2 of our Level Up series. And I tell you, if the listeners and the viewers didn't get a chance to catch last week's episode, first of all, they need to go back and check out the rebroadcast, but they also need to park their bottoms in a seat and lean on in because Miss Faye is back for part 2. So
yes, she is.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We've got Miss Faye. Ooh, Gokwe.
I love that. That was fabulous.
Dropping these gems on us. And so go get a pen and a friend, honey, because you don't want to miss this. She is all about your social brand. We are leveling up this season, ladies. And so we're going to just dive right into these juicy tips that she's going to do. And honey, as she said, she's going to spill the tea on how to level you up. So Faye, thank you so much for being here.
Definitely. I'm honored and blessed always to be with you guys. Amazing.
You are awesome. Well, tell us, Faye, you walked us through your journey to your brand. You talked to us about the importance of amplifying our voices out here in a world that has been my goodness, turned upside down. What are some of the most common mistakes that you've seen people do when it comes to building their brand in a social world?
I think, one of the most common mistakes is, kind of ties in with what I said in our previous episode, which is trying to do everything yourself. Oftentimes when people put up their business platform, they put it up the same way that they put up their personal platform. So if you're on Facebook and you had a Facebook page, you still do, that's personal, you tend to put up your Facebook business in the same fashion. But actually, nowadays, it's important to create a brand that's consistent across all the platforms you're going to have for your business, and also that's optimized for search engines. So using certain buzzwords and keywords that are going to really create more of attraction for you online, and get more people who you want to have eyes on your business to you. But also just in terms of even the way you operate your space in that space, to post things that are actually more in keeping with your business and not with the personal, yet still maintaining a relaxed presence. And that's where somebody like me comes in to help you kind of maneuver that tricky zone of how to be able to be an approachable brand. So it's not all business, but not to be so personal that someone feels like they've hopped upon, your personal Instagram or your personal Facebook. There's a sort of a decorum that you have to maintain. That's one of the most common mistakes I've seen is people trying to do it themselves, and only getting so far and getting frustrated, honestly, when they hit that wall, and that's really at the time where you have to say, okay, look, I have to allocate some money to just having someone help me do this. And I'll take care of the other aspects of the business, So that's one. Another common mistake I do see is people, you have to be very careful. It's still the internet. And so there are still people out there who don't mean well by you. And the internet is something you have to do to be able to operate a business nowadays. And if you want to be profitable, you want to be an influencer, you're going to have to be on the internet. But you should conduct yourself accordingly. It's still a public space. So much like you wouldn't, take certain risks when you're walking about, the same applies to the universe that's online. So be very mindful when people slide into your DMs. Some people may be offering you things, trying to trick you up into, getting into things that you don't need to be in, Holy Spirit.
The promotions, all of those things.
Exactly.
Right.
So just be very careful, especially with the apps that are involving people not invited to your space. So for example, if you're on LinkedIn, you either sent someone a LinkedIn invite or someone sent you one and you accept it. So either way, likely that person's not trying to spam you or get you involved in something nefarious. But if you're on an open app like Twitter or Instagram, where invites aren't necessary, people just follow you when they want to follow you, then you do have to be very careful about what, what kind of conversation you allow, basically, in your DMs. So in those inboxes. So, just sort of a word to the wise out there.
Business brand as well as, your personal brand. So you're absolutely right. We have experienced several of the things that you're talking about with the mistakes, not employing someone to do this, that's better than what we would be able to do. And you talk about, understanding your personal brand and business brand and the tone of what that looks like. It takes a while for someone, who is a novice to let go and let somebody else. How does trust play a part in letting someone like yourself in your space be able to take over your social? What is trust? How does trust play a part in that?
Rely very heavily on the initial consultation. So that's a great way for me to determine your needs and for the client to determine whether I'm a good fit for them. I really believe in that first experience, that first feeling you have when you speak with someone. It doesn't have to be by Zoom or webcam, it can be just over the telephone. Either way, that person will know, just listening to your voice and listening to the way you speak with them, whether or not they want to do business with you. And you should be that kind of person. If you're not, pray on it. I always say pray on everything first. So anyway, before you go into the consultation, pray that God will open your ears so that you can actually hear the person's voice and what you need to hear out of the way they think to be able to make that right determination for yourself and your business. Always pray before you go into a consultation. And don't feel that you have to make the decision necessarily that day. But if you do feel you should make the decision that day, go ahead and press the button. The worst thing you can do for your brand, one of the worst things, is to procrastinate. We live in a very fast-paced world. And if you've been given a mission to fulfill, again, tomorrow is not promised. So that means you have to get on with it. And if God has sent someone to you as a gift, you have to quickly ascertain whether this person is that gift and then push the button. There are people, just go ahead and do it. You may not always have that person. There may be circumstances that take you or that person away from each other. So if that God has sent that person to you right then, push the button, go for it, get your blessings, and move forward with your brand. Don't wait. But definitely afterward, you really just have to lean on discernment. Listening to certain cues, listening to that person when they're speaking with you, and feeling in your spirit whether that's the right match.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that's what you did with me. And so and Dr. Nicole, so we are so appreciative of that. And so ladies, I hope that you've been listening and writing some things down. We're going to come right back after this break and head into another couple of questions with Faye and let her drop some more gems on us. So grab your pen and we'll see you in just a minute.
Are you stuck, frustrated, in need of a fresh perspective? Don't want to go another year just thinking about that brilliant idea? Well, have no fear. Your struggle stops here. What you need is a brilliant brainstorm to help you begin flowing in your brilliant zone again. If you're ready, we're waiting. Schedule a brilliant brainstorm with members of our Gym Makers team to help you get unstuck today.
Welcome back. So before the break, Faye was giving us so many wise nuggets on what to do and what not to do. And so, Faye, I have a question that a lot of people have asked, and I guess they make the assumption sometimes, and there may be women out here who don't have a business, and they want to know, is it still important to create a brand on social? What are your thoughts about that? If they don't have a product, a book, a service, should they put as much attention into building their social media brand or brand in general?
Right. So the answer is yes. We live in a digital age, and quite frankly, there are kids out there who have brands, and their brand is based solely on their being cute kids. Their parents have created a brand for them, and they just walk you through an average day in that infant's life or toddler's life. So they're a brand, even though they're not even speaking yet or fully speaking. So anyone can brand nowadays, and it leads to so many opportunities. There are brand partnership opportunities you can have if you have enough followers. There are other opportunities that often are extended to you once again you have enough followers. So this is a field of dreams kind of situation. If you build it, they will come. So so you may not always know right now what your mission is supposed to be in this world, or your missions, but the idea is much like college. There's some people who go to college who don't know what they want to be. They don't know what they want to study. So they just take a general field of study and see what shakes out. And brands are much like that. Some people know going in what kind of business they're supposed to have. Some people have a business that needs jump starting. They need to actually create a brand around what they've already, started in this universe. And some people don't have any of that, but they know that they need to be online. And it's a great way to just go ahead and attract the followers, attract them to you, get them to fall in love with your story as a person, your narrative in this world. And then again, I help people with brand strategy. So I actually help people not only who have a business, but to help develop what other ways they can generate through their business and diversify. But also people who don't have a business, who want to know, talk to me, tell me what you think. What should I do? And I actually I have great discernment, thankfully, for other people. So I'm able to talk with you and listen to your story, listen to your interests, and develop some ideas that I think might work for you. So, it's always a great time to work with someone when you don't even know what you have to start with, basically.
Can we just for a quick moment talk about the importance of being authentic? Because I think when people think about brands, and even when we see brands out here on social, some of them are far-fetched, to be really honest with you. And it's like, who lives like that? Who wakes up like that? Who dresses like that 24/7? You know what I mean? And so no shade thrown, but if there are people listening, can we talk about the importance of being authentic to who you are and who God has created you to be and created you to do what he's created you to do? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Definitely. I saw a tweet the other day that I really loved, so I reshared it, and it was something to the effect of, I'm tired of seeing your perfect brands. Show me and it was something, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, show me your dirty socks and your 40 ounce, And I loved it. I was just like, okay, yes, and yes, I must retweet this. Because it's so true. Especially if you go on Instagram or TikTok, which is something that some of these apps are under fire for right now, in the political space, because a lot of teen girls have felt that, body shamed by all the messages they get all day long of perfection. And the same holds true for adults. You go on there, and indeed, as you mentioned, much like this tweet, you see what your house is supposed to look like, and the things that you're supposed to be using, to make your life better. And it's a very glossy world, as if a magazine just came and deposited itself on your screen, and it's not real life. And we've all seen, those. And I really do believe, when I work with people, the idea is to be authentic, to be yourself. So I always tell people with whom I work, whenever it's not fun for both of us, then we're not doing something correct. Meaning, it should never feel forced. I really listen to the clients that I have and determine even what's in their comfort level in terms of the apps that they should be on. So not every social platform is for everybody. There's some apps that, just because of your personality as well as your business purpose, I'm going to say no. Because I know it's not going to be fun for you. People will flat out tell me how they feel about an app, and that's perfectly fine. Then it's not for you. And when you're on there, indeed, when I'm posting or helping you to post, helping you to determine what you should be putting on your platform, it's all about making sure that you are your authentic self in this world. You are an ambassador, I always believe. God sent you for a reason, and you're an ambassador of everything that you are. Where your parents are from, where you're from, what your interests are, what your gifts and talents are in this world. There's so many things that comprise you. And so why would we want to paint that any differently? We just want to make sure that everyone else knows it, and that's why we create that brand. But you should always be authentically you. There's only one.
I love that. I love that you said not every app is for everybody.
Oh, no.
No. I'm a TikTok scroller. I love TikTok scrolling, but I'm not a TikTok poster. I tried it one time. It just didn't work out for me. I was a girl. So.
Yes. And yes. And indeed, the TikTok is so great. It's so fun. But it's not for everybody. It's, there's some apps that really are for your entertainment. You can just say, what, I'm going to take a hard pass on, participating in it. But I love, this is entertaining. It's lifting my spirits. Some apps are for just your joy, literally. Yep. And you don't have to get involved with them, and your business can do still tremendously well, because you absolutely have to be where the energy is for you and your brand,
So true. I think that's wonderful. So I think that, my goodness, if you have not been to her page yet and booked your consultation, then I don't know what you're doing. TikTok. I mean, not that TikTok, because your brand is waiting for you. It is waiting to be up-leveled and to really get the love and attention that it needs, because I know that that's what was happening for Dr. Nicole and I. So we will be returning after this break, and we're going to ask this beautiful vessel a couple more questions about how we continue to level up our brand. We'll see you in just a minute.
If you're ready to develop new skills and create new strategies to help you reach higher heights, your time is now. If you're ready to connect and collaborate with other brilliant minds, your time is now. If you're ready to build supportive relationships within a global community, your time is now. Accept this personal invitation to join our Beyond Brilliant network, where we help women move beyond their brilliance and gain the clarity they need to bring their visions and dreams to life, thrive confidently in their purpose, and live courageously in their power. Join today and gain access to our unique events and life-altering experiences. Tap into our network of highly skilled life and leadership coaches and learn from our library of carefully curated content, resources, and more. If you're ready, we're waiting. Now is your time to shine in your brilliant zone.
Welcome back. All right, before the break, once again, our friend over here was dropping some gems, really talking to us about some of the pitfalls that we should not get ourselves into, some of the things that do not bring us joy when it comes to our brand and how we represent ourselves out there on social. And so now, Faith, we are going to dive right into another question. I think that to me was so helpful that you did for me, and you are continuing to do for Dr. Nicole and I, is we're talking about or help us to understand this piece. When someone is transitioning, right? Someone may be transitioning a brand. So I'm going from being a corporate, professional into maybe an entrepreneurial space, and now I'm running my own business, or I'm moving out of one industry of my business to another one. I don't, how do I transition brands, and do I brand within a brand because I have multiple businesses? So I know it's a lot that I just threw at you. But how can you help our viewing audience, including us, in how we do this?
Well, I think it's really exciting when you are working as a salaried person or hourly person, and then you start something on the side. I think it's a beautiful thing to do. It's one of the safest things you can do, is to be working, but then start what you believe to be your true mission in this world. Just a little aside there. Sometimes God has us in salaried and hourly spaces so we can learn from other people and meet certain people who are going to be influential later on and to us in our lives and our brands. But he has you start that side hustle because that's your true mission, your true calling. So really, all that work that you did before working for other people was just a grand school. It was like one big school, right? And then now when you grow well enough, you can jump off fully into your side hustle and make that your life's work, and then diversify it so many ways. And indeed, that's when you can get into a brand inside of a brand. Even if you're still working and you've got a side hustle that's grown because of someone like me, or someone like me, you can create a brand within that brand. It can take you places that you couldn't believe. I always believe in umbrella brands, meaning there's a main brand that you have, and then there are lots of different sub-brands basically underneath that umbrella. It's funny, the more you are in the space of your mission, the more, especially with someone like me helping you, you're able to see the broader vision and other ways in which you can help. So you may start out with one set of things you'd like to cure in this world, and then you find so many other things. There's a momentum that picks up. There's a pace that picks up. So yeah, definitely it can be an exciting ride actually to do all of this. And it should be. This is your calling. This is your mission. This is why you were put on this earth. One of the main and many reasons. And it should be enjoyable. So by all means, you never want to say no. In Hollywood, they always say you never say no to work. You always say yes. So similarly, when it comes to brands, when there are things that you think you should be doing, problems that you should be solving in this world through your brand, the idea is how, not no.
I like that a lot. And I know that you've helped me with so many of those things when you talk about the transition and you talk about the brand and how my brand had babies. And so how do we do that? So I know we could keep going and going because there's so much rich information, but you're going to have to get your own consultation with Faye. So Faye, can you tell our viewing audience once again how to get in contact with you? So that if they want to get a consultation and to just hire you on as their social media manager, how do they do that?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. And as I said before, in our first episode, if you're not on LinkedIn, you absolutely have to be there. That's one app that all business people should be on. Consider it the Facebook for business. That's where everyone is on and operating. And I'm there, FEYUGOKWE, and then ESQ. And you can also find me on Instagram, another great app to be on for business. Has a little more of a playful feel, but you still can get a lot of business done on Instagram. And there I'm same at FEYUGOKWEESQ. And I'm also on Twitter at pinkpurseintl, PINKPURSEINTL. So either way, just hop into my DMs, just slide into my inbox and, let me know that you'd like a consultation and we can hop on a phone, Zoom, and get started into finding out how you can be the presence that you were missioned to be in this world.
I love it. Thank you so
You're
much, Faye,
welcome.
for being here. Thank you so much for helping us
Oh,
level up as a business. And
certainly.
thank you for helping women around the world to be able to do this and sharing your gift with us. You are such an
Thank,
amazing, amazing partner. So thank you,
thank
thank you, thank
you.
you. You are welcome. And so Dr. Nicole, she's going to bring us home with our brilliant blessing. What you got for us today?
Yes. So, as always, we like to close out the Beyond Brilliant broadcast with what we call our brilliant blessing, which is simply God's word. And there is one that is so appropriate, a scripture that is so appropriate. You see, I got my readers today. Didn't have them last time, but I have them today. But this one talks about salt and light. And it says, "You are the salt of the earth." This is Matthew 5:13 through 16. It says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." And I
Amen.
think that particular scripture is so appropriate because God, as you just said, Faye, has called us all to do something. He's called us to a specific purpose, a destiny. And who are we to hide that? The world needs to see, the world needs to know what God has put in us. And so, be it through someone like yourself, Faye, and your company, and getting some help if you're stuck in that area, seeking God, of course, with wisdom from on high and praying to Him for wisdom and who you should go into business with and how you should present yourself to the world. All of it is important, but most importantly, do not allow your light to be hidden under a bushel. It is meant for the world to see. So,
That is absolutely beautiful. We thank you so much, sis. You always bring the brilliant blessing and bless our souls. So, those of you, again, check out our guests, our special guests. Please go check out our Beyond Brilliant community, Beyond Brilliant Network. If you have not signed up, you don't want to miss that because clarity, confidence, encourage. What more can you ask for? We are so happy that you rocked with us today. Thank you. And as we always leave you, we will leave you with this: be bold,
be brave and be
be brilliant.
brilliant.
Or to be a guest on our show, please visit www.beyondbrilliantbroadcast.com.